Hi and welcome to another episode of how to set up a simple marine nano tank. In this episode I'm going to be covering water changes. As you can see, the water level of the nano tank has already dropped. So what I'm going to do is going to talk to you quickly about all the equipment that you need for the water change. But first I'm going to tell you what I've done before, obviously the process of the water change. So with the rocks in the tank, there's quite a bit of water displacement. So the tank holds 30 litres, and probably with the rock there's only around about 22 litres of water. So using the jug on the right hand side there, it's basically a litre jug. I've already taken out about 8 litres and I've put it in this bucket in here. So you can see in there there's a live rock, some live rock as well. That's because it was protruding out of the water, so I'm just keeping it soaked until the new water is added in the tank. Over here is the hydrometer. So you can see the reading here. Okay, it's still in the black, but we just need to increase that a little bit as well. But we'll talk a bit more about that when we're actually mixing the salt in the water. Okay, so over here, this is what I'll be using for the water change. In the bucket already is 10 litres of RO water. And as you can see, there's a heater, so I've been heating the water up now for a good couple of hours, making sure it's the same temperature as the tank's water, so that's very important. So you want the heater in there as well. There is other methods you can do as well. You can add a air stone to the water just to help it with mixing the salt and keeping the water aerated, but I'm just trying to keep it really simple. Everyone has different ways of doing it. I'm just keeping it simple because, as I'm a beginner, this is probably the best way for me to learn, and it's hopefully the best way for you guys to learn as well if you're new to it. So over here I have some of the salt, the sea salt, ready to go in, start mixing. I've just got it in a fish bag, so it's easier for me to get out from the bigger bag. And then I've just got a wooden spoon. It's a new wooden spoon, but I'll just give it a scrub. That's why it looks a bit wet. So what I'm going to be doing is adding the salt to the RO water and mixing it, and then leave it to settle for a bit, then adding more. Because basically you want all the salt to be diluted into the water. So what we're trying to do, we'll start off by matching the salinity in there and the specific gravity as well. As you can see, it's on 28, just under 28 and 1.020. Okay, so we want it just a bit higher, around about 30. So we'll be mixing in here, tablespoon at a time. That's what I'm going to be using. You can use other methods such as measuring cups and stuff like that. Another tip as well, when you start mixing water for the first time, it's always best to use right measurements. So in this bucket, I'm going to now, next time I do my water change, I'm going to be mixing 10 litres, but only probably taking 8 litres out of the tank. So that means I've always got a bit extra just in case something goes wrong. So what you can do when you put 10 litres in, or wherever you get it from, if you've got an RO unit, or you get it from your local fish shop, or a friend, or however you get it, put a mark on the bucket so you know exactly how much water is in, and keep a record of how many scoops or tablespoons or whatever you use of the salt. That way it's a lot easier next time round, so it just stops a bit of guessing and a lot of waiting around and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do now, just going to cut the video as I mix all the salt in and bring the salinity and the specific gravity up as well, and then I'll show you the results from the bucket. Okay, so this is the reading after mixing in 15 tablespoons of the sea salt, and it's been about half an hour now just resting in the tank. You can see the salinity on the left hand side is almost spot on 30, and then the gravity obviously being the same. It's really important to have the water clear and all the salt diluted in the water before adding it into the tank. Obviously you're going to get different readings if all the salt isn't diluted. So that's really important. Another thing to have in the water as you're still mixing it is the heater to keep the water the same temperature. As you can see, my temperature reading is about 25, 24, 25. I got the tank set at 25, so about another half an hour and should be able to add it. Okay, so another half an hour has passed, and in that time I added a few more tablespoons of the salt, because the reading from the Nano tank was actually just below 28. So what I need to do to up the salinity and the gravity of the water of the tank, I need to obviously counterbalance it by increasing the salt basically in the water change. So as you can see, it's just below 32. So when I add this water change to the tank, it should balance it out roughly round about just below 30. Okay, so in the next bit we'll be adding it to the tank. Okay, so it's time to add the water back into the tank. What I've done is added the live rock that was in the other bucket back as well, so you know you're adding back the correct amount of water that you've taken out. Okay, so I've got the jug here, so I know each one's a litre. So when adding it back, you just want to sort of position it so it doesn't disturb. Or the sand, obviously you're going to kick up finer bits of sand that have, you know, because of the circulation of the tank, they're going to be stuck in the live rock. So that's basically how I'm going to add it back. So in the next bit, the tank should be full. Okay, so I've got all the water back into the tank. It's a bit cloudy, it's nothing major. All I need to do now is just turn the wave maker back on, or the power head. And then more stuff will be able to get kicked around the tank till it settles. So I really hope that this video helped you, and I would really appreciate if my viewers would kindly rate the video. It only takes a couple of seconds, and if you're new to watching my videos, click subscribe. I just don't do marines, I do tropicals, I do African cichlids, breeding of African cichlids, all of the stuff. So once again guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate all your support. I've just passed 900 subscribers. It's a bit overwhelming sometimes, I can't believe how quick I've gained these subscribers, and the numbers just keep growing. So I appreciate you all, and thanks for watching.